Have you ever found yourself trying to lead in the way that you think you're supposed to, only to feel like you're wearing someone else's version of leadership, like a leadership costume or like a mask? And that mask can be exhausting. You're showing up, you're doing your best, but something feels off, like you're performing leadership instead of actually leading. I want you to know that you're not alone. So many leaders carry this tension. They want to be effective, to meet expectations, deliver results, but not wanting to lose themselves in the process. Here's the truth. You don't have to choose between being authentic or being effective. Let me say that again. You don't have to choose between being authentic or being effective. In fact, the more you lead from who you truly are, the more natural, powerful, and sustainable your leadership becomes. Because here's the thing, when you lead from someone else's playbook instead of your own values, your own personal strengths, it's exhausting. It drains your energy and it creates inconsistency. And teams can feel that disconnect. They might not be able to name it, but they know when leadership is real and authentic and when it's not. And it impacts trust, engagement, and results. That's why we created the SEED Mindfulness Mastery Program. This program has a 4-step journey to it designed to support leaders in developing from the inside out, right? Anchored in presence, clarity, and truth. I want to share about one of our clients. He told me I could share. He was a newly promoted at the time that we started working together, and he felt this pressure that he had to lead like everybody else, and he didn't really know what that was. And we started working together, and we started to bring greater awareness to each present moment as he was going through his role and having him connect within. And through this process and with support, he uncovered his own authentic leadership style. He found his way to be true to himself and be a leader. And what he shared with me just the other day was like a really big win, that it didn't feel in this big team meeting when he shared that he was performing anymore. He was just being him and leading, and it felt good and it works. Okay. So our work together isn't about giving you all kinds of new techniques. It's about uncovering the leadership style that is already there within you. And that's when real transformation happens. All right, so I want to tell you about the SEED process and give you one tool to work with today. There's one core practice that we teach that I want to give you right here, and it's a practice of authentic presence. So what I want you to do is have this attention and intention to be more mindful of how you're showing up. And I want you to notice when your leadership feels forced or uncomfortable or unnatural. When it feels that way, you're going to pause and go within and ask, what am I trying to project here and why? And you're going to reconnect to your core strengths and values. I want you to tap into your unique gifts and talents and who you are. And consider in this moment how they can guide you as you're meeting the current challenge. Then lead from there. This is a small but mighty shift from trying to be the right kind of leader performing to becoming your kind of leader, authentically you, an empowered leader. When leaders start showing up this way, they really experience a lot of positive change in their work and life around them. They experience a greater alignment between who they are and how they lead. And this leads to less burnout because they're not trying constantly to be something other than they are. They also, because they are being authentic and leading from there, they create more trust and engagement with their teams. And very importantly, they're able to show up consistently in their authentic leadership approach. And this builds credibility and adds positively to their professional leadership reputation. And what's more, they experience again and again, clients tell me they're now having a stronger impact and influence from their role than they could have before. So if you want to have a stronger impact, but not actually work as hard and get as drained, this approach is for you. So SEED Mindfulness teaches that effective leadership isn't something you perform. It's something you become. When you shift your way of being, your doing naturally changes too. And here's the thing, please remember, this is not about being perfect. Perfection is not available. It's about being real, authentic. When you lead from your authentic self, leadership becomes more than this role. It becomes a reflection of who you truly are. And that's where the power is. And it's also a much better experience. And it's why I'm passionate about what I do. And if you need any support in applying what I've shared with you here today, or if you have any other questions, please reach out in the comments. I'd love to support you on your journey, cheering you on. Thank you for your time and attention.